Tax reform should, in my opinion, become a major issue in the 2012 election. Congressman Pete Roskam is live with us now from Capitol Hill. Congressman, you've got a plan and it calls for, among other things, keeping capital gains tax rates at 15%. That is the mainstay of your tax reform plan, I believe.
Absolutely. Look, Stuart, the U.S. economy is really in an epic struggle right now for capital formation and job creation. And there's one study that suggests that if these tax rates go up, as they're scheduled to do at the end of 2012, then it will cost our economy 270,000 jobs. So I think we have a good opportunity here, and that is to create a growth agenda to try and get us on a footing that says there's predictability, there's certainty, and we're not going to raise taxes on capital gains or dividends.
Let me throw out an opinion on this about what I think should be the main issue in the 2012 campaign. It's not government creating jobs with more spending. It's tax reform that stimulates the private sector. But I put it to you, Congressman, tax reform is not a mainstay of any of the principal Republican candidates, with the exception of Herman Cain.
Look, I think that there's a real opportunity to reform the tax system. I serve on the Ways and Means Committee. Chairman Dave Camp has been working on a policy or an agenda for the past 8 months, and that is to do this, to make the U.S. the most competitive tax environment in the world, because we're competing clearly on a global basis. We're losing an advantage on a global basis, and there's a real opportunity, I think, for both sides to come together around these larger tax reform themes. But what we can't do, we cannot allow the capital gains rate to go up. We can't allow the dividends rate to go up, because that would have an adverse impact on seniors living on fixed incomes, has an adverse impact on businesses, and has an adverse impact on investors. We can do this.
Just literally 100 yards behind you, Congressman, Ben Bernanke is testifying, and he's just said that the economic recovery in America is close to faltering. He's just said that. I put it to you that doesn't that make the case for tax reform? Shouldn't it be much more prominent than it has been so far, tax reform?
Oh, look, there's without question the status quo of the tax system is indefensible. It's absurd. It's reached the point of complexity that doesn't serve anyone. But I would submit that a way to move forward is at least to find common ground on the idea that you're not going to raise taxes and discourage investment. That's not the thing to do. So I think we can do this. I think we can move forward on a bipartisan basis. I think the debate has been framed. You go back to 2009 when President Obama was asked, do you raise taxes in a recession? And he wisely said, no, you don't do that. So if we're not in a recession now, we're knocking on the door of one, and we ought not cross that threshold and create a self-fulfilling prophecy by raising taxes.
Pete Roskam, Republican, Illinois. Thanks for joining us, sir. It was a great pleasure.
Thanks, Stuart.